next is the pre-stress losses. Um, the in the nature of the losses of the pre-stress, the whatever the initial pre-stress in the concrete undergoes the gradual reduction with the time from the stage of the transfer of the load due to the various causes. This is generally referred as the loss of the pre-stress. A good estimate the magnitude of the loss of the pre-stress is necessary to view the point of the of the design. The different types of the loss which is encountered in the pre-tensioning and the post-tensioning. So in the pre-tensioning, the types of the losses on the pre-stress are for the pre-tensioning the cases. First one is the elastic deformation of the concrete, and second one is the relaxation of the stresses in the steel, and third one is the shrinkage of the concrete, and fourth one is the creep of the concrete. So these are the four types of the losses for the pre-tensioning section. For the post tensioning section, the relaxation of this stress in the steel, the shrinkage of the concrete, creep of the concrete, and friction and anchorage slips. So these are the types of the losses for the post tensioning sections. So in the pre-stress, it is nothing but the loss in the reduction of the initial applied pre-stress of the effective values. In other words, we can say that the loss is a loss in the pre-stress in the difference between the initial pre-stress and the effective pre-stress that is remained in the sections. So that is about the pre-stress. In the pre-stress, there is an immediate and there is a time dependent loss will be there. So in the immediate, there is an elastic shortening, friction, anchorage slips, and the time dependent, it is the creep loss, shrinkage loss, and it is the relaxation of the pre-stress in the steel sections. So these are the losses which can be occurred with a immediate or it may be a time dependent. So if you take the time dependent, it is if you take the creep of the concrete, the time dependent increase of the deformation under the sustained load. Due to the creep, the pre-stress in the tendons decrease with the time. So what are the factors which is affecting the creep and the shrinkage of the concrete are: one is the age of the concrete, and another is the applied stress level. The third one is the density of the concrete. The density of the concrete, it may varies. Next is the cement content in the concrete, and third one and next another one is the water cement ratio. Next is the relative humidity, whether it's a coastal area or non-coastal area, it matters. Next is the temperature. So these are the time dependent losses. So in the pre-stress, the whatever the in additional to this, there may be a losses due to the sudden changes in the temperature, especially in the steam curing of the pre-tensioning unit. The rises in the temperature causes the partial transfer of the pre-stress. So due to this, elongation of the tendons between the adjacent units is whatever units are there in the long line process, which may causes the large amount of the creep if the concrete is not properly cured. If there is a possibility of the change of the temperature between the time of the tensioning and the transfer, the corresponding losses may be should is allowed for the design. So for the finding the loss due to the elastic deformation of the concrete, so it can be calculated the loss of the pre-stress due to the elastic deformation of the concrete, that depends upon the modular ratio and the average stresses in the concrete at the level, where the modular ratio is the it is the ratio of the Young's modulus of the steel to the Young's modulus of the concrete. So that can be seen here, the losses where modular ratio is alpha E is equal to ES divided by EC, where ES is the modulus of elasticity of the steel, EC is the modulus elasticity of concrete. So the strain, whatever the strain in the concrete at the level of the steel is the FC divided by EC, where FC is the pre-stress in the concrete at the level of the steel, where EC is the Young's modulus of the concrete. That's for the strain, and the stress in the steel corresponding to the strain, so within the elastic limit, so that is equal to the FC divided by EC into ES. So FC is the pre-stress in the concrete, EC is the Young's modulus of the EC is the Young's modulus of the concrete, and ES is the Young's modulus of the steel. So totally the losses of the stresses in the steel is equal to it is the product of the modular ratio into the pre-stress in the concrete. So if the initial stress in the steel is known as the then the percentage of the loss in the stresses in the steel due to the elastic deformation of the concrete can be calculated. How? The initial stress will be known, so then the final stress will be calculated. So from final to the initial, if you take the ratio and multiple with the 100, you can find out the amount of the losses of the stresses in the steel. So this we can able to calculate in the case of the loss due to the elastic deformation. So apart from this, so next we will go for the losses of the stresses due to the successive tensioning of the curved beam. In this, in the most most of the beam section in the bridge girders, the whatever the cables are there, the tendons are in the curved with the maximum with the eccentricities, with the varied eccentricity at the to the center of the span. In these cases, the losses of the stresses uh, in these cases you can see here, in these cases in this cases, the losses of the stresses due to the elastic deformation of the concrete is estimated by considering the average stresses in the concrete at the level of the steel. So consider if the beam section, whatever it is, you can show whatever I'm showing in the beam. So in this, the which is the post tensioning section with the 3 parabolic curves cables, uh, the stresses distributed in the concrete at the level of the cable 1, what I'm showing in the arrow, cable 1 is also shown in the figure. In the cable 2, it is a tension. For the computing the loss of the stresses, the average stresses, whatever I am showing in this figure, the average figure in the second figure below that, the whatever the average stresses are there, you can able to calculate the stresses in the concrete at the level of the steel. So which is which is the consider the parabolic cable 3, the stress distribution in the concrete at the level of the cable 1 in the figure, which is the cable 2 is been tension. For the computing the loss of the stresses, the average stress is been considered. So for the first one and the third one, an average stresses will be can be taken into the consideration. So when if you consider when the third cable is been tensioned, there will be loss of the stresses in the both in the cable 1 and cable 2. So as it is been shown in the figure that you can observe by the figure 1 and figure 2. So for that one we can take the average between the two stresses. So that's about the for the loss of the stresses due to the successive, this is what the finding the loss of the stresses due to the successive tensioning of the curved cables. So we have talked about the whatever the stresses which is induced on the different section, either the pre-tensioning section or it may be post-tensioning sections. So in the pre-tensioning, elastic deformation of the concrete and relaxation and shrinkage and the creep loss, all this will be determined in the pre-tensioning. But in the case of the post-tensioning the section, the relaxation of the stresses in the steel, the shrinkage and the creep is occurred, shrinkage and the creep, relaxation, shrinkage and the creep, these three will occur in the both the pre-tensioning as well as the post tensioning section, but the friction and anchorage will occur in the post tensioning sections. So that's about the losses in the pre-stress sections.